At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too, because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.
Good morning, everyone. I'm meteorologist Mike Krueger. Thank you for joining us. It is your Thursday edition of Coffee with Krueger. Cheers to you all. Hope you're having a good start to your day. I know I'm on my second cup of coffee, so I'm feeling pretty good out there. Hey, by the way, of course, if you watched yesterday, you know, of course, I announced the winner. We spun the wheel, and Julie was the big winner of the Red Bluff Roundup tickets. Here's the deal. I emailed you, Julie. If you're watching, I emailed you, but I have not heard back. And this concerns me because I want to make sure that these tickets get out to a winner. So, Julie, if you're watching and you haven't received an email from me, you've checked your emails and you're nothing, do me a favor, email it. Me at where you entered the contest, mkrueger@weathernorcal.com, or from the website, just click on contact. Let me know so we can communicate how to get those tickets to you. If I don't hear from you by noon today, I hate to say it, as much as I hate to say it, I'm going to have to draw a new winner, and I will be contacting them by sometime this afternoon. So Julie, if you know Julie, please communicate to her that she is the winner. And we need to make sure that we get those tickets to her, because I hate to see her lose the tickets as she's the big winner. But I may have to draw a new winner if I don't hear from her by noon today. Again, hate to do that. All right, so this is our new camera. Remember, we talked about this. This is on top of Divine Restaurant. Yesterday, there were a lot of clouds out there, even some light sprinkles and showers for the Redding area, city of Shasta Lake. And this is a beautiful time lapse of that camera looking out at Shasta Bali off to the west. You can see that nice sunset and those clouds clearing out. Let's take what it looks like out there this morning. And beautiful. Look at this, right? I mean, you got Sacramento River down there at the bottom of your screen. You've got Mount Shasta, beautiful pink color from the sunrise here. Wow, just gorgeous. Once again, so excited for this partnership with Kenny Elwood and Divine Restaurant and having this camera on this amazing view of Redding. So that's what it looks like out there this morning. We do have those clear skies. Hey, by the way, we have some great images that coming in from you, the viewers. And Owen sent us this picture from the free Weather NorCal app. It's Devil's Punch Bowl in the Siskiyou Wilderness. Beautiful, beautiful, many beautiful areas, maybe a nice hike or a backpacking trip. I want to thank Owen for sending in that picture. And you can do the same from the free Weather NorCal app. And if you don't have it, just download it for free today on your iPhone or your Android, and you can upload those pictures. Before you know it, you might see it right here on Coffee with Krueger. All right, here's your Krueger's Quick Cast for your Thursday, April 16th. We're going to get you out the door this morning, and it is chilly out there. Temperatures in the 20s and 30s for the higher elevations, and in the mid-40s. A bit gusty out there this morning, by the way, and those winds will be fairly strong for the valley throughout the day, and even out towards along the coast as well. So here we go, out the door this morning. Yeah, still in the 20s and 30s for the higher elevations at 8 o'clock this morning, low 40s for the valley. So the cold front that passed through us yesterday, that's doing a couple of things. Number one, it filtered in the colder air. So it will be deceptively cool out there despite the fact that it's sunny. It's also kind of these post-frontal winds coming out of the north that we'll be dealing with here for today. Now, as far as any rain is concerned, we're just not seeing it, and not really much in the way of cloud cover throughout the day today, as I do expect to see mainly sunny skies. You can see a little bit of snow flurry activity off to our north and east, but that's really going to be the extent of it. Otherwise, clear skies here for tonight. Again, mentioned that there's a wind advisory until 11 o'clock tonight. North gusts up to 40 miles per hour. Now, again, it still will be pretty gusty for those of you along the coast as well, but even this morning, pretty gusty for the valley. That'll continue through midday. But look at the coast. I mean, you're in the 25, 30 mile an hour range as well. just no advisories there. We keep that through the afternoon and this evening and even into tonight. Again, that wind advisory won't expire until 11 o'clock tonight. Hey, we've been talking about that potential for the rain that we're seeing kind of backing off. It looks like it's going to be the case now. I think most of us should remain dry through the weekend, including Sunday. It's the coast that may see that chance for showers as early as Sunday, but it's Monday, Tuesday of next week that we got that best shot at some rain. Temperatures today, again, deceptively cool out there. We're talking sunny skies across the board, and we're going to be looking at temperatures in the mid to upper 60s in the valley. So again, yeah, still a little bit of a chill out there. Temperatures in the 40s and 50s for the higher elevations. There's that frost advisory this morning for western Siskiyou and also along the coast. And for tonight, there is a freeze warning for Lass and eastern Plumas and western Siskiyou, Trinity County, and the inland areas of the north coast, and a frost advisory for the coast once again for tonight and tomorrow morning. Not the valley, but it still will be pretty cold. The valley is going to drop down to the low 40s, but teens and 20s, especially the north and east. I do expect low 30s, though, west of the valley for the most part, mid to upper 20s there, too. And then, of course, we're talking upper 30s to around 40 for the coast. All right, so let's go and take a look at our 7-day forecast. Yeah, we're dry, and I've taken out the raindrops for Sunday. So this is great news for the Red Bluff Roundup, right? Because nobody wants to get rained on for an outdoor event like that. So that's great news. Of course, but the rain would be nice. The rain would be nice. We're just pushing it back a day, all right? Because we will get more rain coming in Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. For the coast, it may be here as early as Sunday. We're going to take a closer look at our deeper dive, what that exactly means, because the positioning of that low pressure system is really going to depend on, number one, the timing and how much rain we see. But Siskiyou, Modoc County, Eastern Mountains, I'm keeping you dry through the weekend as well with that wet weather coming in for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. All right, we're going to go and take another look at some of the cameras out there. This is our beautiful camera out in Redding, set from the top of Divine Restaurant. You may have been to the restaurant. You know the beautiful view that they have out there in that restaurant. I mean, come on, great food, great views. You can't top it, right? So yeah, great view this morning. Got clear skies, beautiful shot of Mount Shasta. You can see some of the low clouds kind of hovering around the base of the mountain itself, but just beautiful out there this morning. We're looking at Lake Oroville down in Butte County this morning, and you can see some of the clouds that are still lingering in the area there. Main Street, Chico, I can't see the skies, but we can see that there's a lack of traffic. It's always nice, right? A little bit more traffic out there on Highway 99 at Neal Road this morning. We're going to take you now at Highway 44. Sundial Bridge Drive in Redding. We got the sun kind of coming up there. Out in Crescent City this morning, beautiful, beautiful sunrise this morning. Not much in the way of cloud cover out in Crescent City this morning either. All right, now you can hear me. Here's take a look at Trinidad, just north of Trinidad in Elk Country. And there you can see the clear skies there as well. All right, now we're taking a look at Bald Hill West. Just some scattered clouds out there, some low clouds hanging out as we typically see and have been seeing here for several weeks. Soda Ridge, and there's a beautiful shot right there this morning, looking at the mainly clear skies out there this morning. No fog in Scott Valley this morning out in Fort Jones, that is. So turning out to be a pretty nice start to the day there. And the snow is beginning to melt a little bit here in Lassen Park. The bench will be a good benchmark for us, if you will, on how quickly that snow is melting. Eventually maybe seeing more of the bench and eventually even the path that leads to that bench. All right, today is Thursday. We got a NorCal Ag Report, and Jerry Lennon talked to the folks over at Noble Orchards in Paradise. Some of the changes they've made and some of the recovery that they've had since the campfire in 2018. This week's NorCal Ag Report, sponsored by Lassen County Nursery.
Hi, I'm Jerry O'Lennon with Weather NorCal, and this is the Ag Report sponsored by Lassen Canyon Nursery. Some good news up from Paradise, where it appears Noble Orchard is back to 100% following the devastation they faced during the 2018 campfire. On a crisp morning on the ridge, the low hum of a tractor serves as the heartbeat of a 106-year-old institution that refused to die.
No, but we're in a work in progress.
Jim and Lori Noble are constantly tending to their rows of apples, peaches, and nectarines. Recently, they've added a new nursery to the mix, one that just survived a brush with a biting North State cold front.
We had over a foot of snow.
But a little snow is a minor hurdle for a business that's become synonymous with the spirit of paradise. The turning point for this Paradise institution came on November 8th, 2018, when the campfire destroyed everything, 11 buildings. The only thing that survived were some 15 acres of orchards. Those trees became the foundation for their comeback, and through the long years of recovery, Lori Noble has leaned on a simple mantra.
Left foot, right foot, forward we go.
This new cold storage and packing facility is the final piece of the puzzle. It's a one-of-a-kind resource for the area, and while the finish line is in sight, there's still work to be done before the first crate is packed.
Not at this point.
Well, no, at this point we're where we're at.
The Nobles say it's their connection to the community that fuels the hard work.
Well, there's a lot of people who care about the orchard, and they would like it to continue.
That's because the Nobles cared for the community first, providing free produce in the dark days following the fire. A debt of gratitude the town of Paradise has not forgotten.
The community pretty loudly said, we really like Noble Orchards. Just by showing up the first year we did U-Pick, we had well over like 6,000 people show up.
It's been 7 years of hard miles, but for the Nobles, there's only one direction left to go. And there's the Ag Report. I'm Jerry O'Lennon for Weather NorCal.
Once again, I want to thank Jerry O'Lennon for that report. Really amazing. You know, it's amazing to kind of hear that, you know, how many years later, almost, 8 years now since the campfire. And they're kind of in the final phases of recovering from that fire. So quite a long process, I think, for many people as they're still recovering. And great to hear a positive story that kind of came out of that campfire, that they've recovered and things are going well for them over at Noble Orchard. So be sure to check them out. Give them some support this year and check out their orchard out in Paradise. Paradise is a beautiful area anyways, right? So it's always nice to get up on that ridge. Once again, I want to thank Lassen County Nursery for their support of the NorCal Ag Report. Also want to thank Wind River for their support of Coffee with Krueger, because without our sponsors, Coffee with Krueger and Weather NorCal would not exist. Hey, by the way, there's some great events going on out Wind River. They always have great events going on, right? Of course, the big one coming up this Sunday, April 19th, they've got the Show and Shine, and you probably see the billboards around town, and of course on the highway, the Chase Matthew concert. Yeah, he's going to be there at Wind River. Sunday, April 26th, and hey, let's not forget about Mother's Day, right? Sunday, May 10th, they've got the Event Center, out of the Event Center, Mother's Day brunch. So maybe it's time to start thinking about putting that in your calendars. Hey, buy some more shows here in March. Our tickets go on sale in March, which is already here. Let's get more information on Ian Munsick. Let's get more information on him. Looks like Friday, July 24th is when the show starts. When they have the show. So you can get your tickets already. They're putting them on sale. So be sure to check that out. Once again, I want to thank Wind River for their support. At Wind River Resort and Casino, enjoy friendly service, a wide variety of specials and promotions, plus all of your favorite slots and table games. All right, let's take a look at our weather headlines. There's some frost and freeze concerns here in the mountains and coasts in particular. Not necessarily the valley, but it's cold. Colder air has moved in, and especially tonight and tomorrow morning, that's going to be a bit of a concern here. Gusty winds at times, dry through the weekend, and the models are backing down on Sunday rain. This is something I've been kind of hinting at the last few days, but we're now starting to see alignment from both the European and the American forecast model that really most of us in Northern California may stay dry through the entire weekend. But next week looks like it's going to be an unsettled start to the week. So a bit to dive into in our deeper dive forecast. But first, a word from the Red Bluff Roundup.
Get ready for the largest 3-day rodeo in America. Over $350,000 in prize money. 3 days. April 17th through the 19th. Cowboys and cowgirls from across the nation come to Red Bluff to compete for over $350,000 in cash. Family fun for all ages at the Tehama District Fairgrounds. Don't miss this year's Red Bluff Roundup. Tickets available online and at the Red Bluff office.
Definitely a chilly start to the day here. We got temperatures in the mid to upper 40s. Now, with the wind blowing, you'll notice it's not too terribly cold out there, but obviously still chilly with that north wind. Otherwise, you're looking at 20s and 30s, especially the north and east, but even the upper 20s out in Weaverville and Hayfork this morning. A little bit warmer in Hoopa, a bit of a wind, especially those winds kind of eventually developing along the coast, but cold there, right? That's why we have that frost advisory this morning. Temperatures in the mid-30s for Eureka, Crescent City, even Redway, about 37 degrees at the current hour. So here's the big picture. We've basically got this area of low pressure right here spinning. This is what was impacting our weather yesterday. The winds picked up, we saw some showers, and most of the rain, as expected, was to the north and west of the valley. Siskiyou County, Del Norte, Humboldt. There are parts, and as projected, half an inch, give or take, depending on where you are, with that rainfall out along the north coast. So pretty good to see that rainfall. It would have been nice to have seen more, and there were some sprinkles in parts of the valley, in particular around Redding, and some light showers, but nothing really to write home about. That's moving on out. The colder air has moved in. So today, skies are clearing out. It will be deceptively cool out there. All right, so remember, it was 2 days ago, actually, not yesterday, but the day before, we were seeing the first sign that we may not see rain on Sunday. And it was this particular forecast model that was indicating that. And it's still showing that. Let's take you all the way through Sunday. Look at this low pressure system. Now, a couple of things to take note is that this area of low pressure system is kind of breaking itself off from the upper level flow. It's what we call a cutoff low. Sometimes these are a little bit more difficult to predict because they tend to have a mind of their own, but it's the overall pressure systems around it that can dictate the movement of it. So with high pressure off to our east, as long as that's still there, this is going to have a hard time moving. So we're eventually going to see this push off to the east. And the timing of when that pushes to the east is still a little tricky at this point, because based on the American model right here, still dry on Monday. Now, that being said, when I say that, the coast, you could see showers as early as Sunday, Monday. It depends on the positioning of this low. Bring this a little bit more to the west. Now the coast is dry, right? Bring it a little bit more to the east. Of course, now the coast has that wet weather. But based on the American model, still dry even on Monday for most of us. And then that ridge of high pressure gives way. And we start to see showers on Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, drying out by the end of next week. So again, this model waiting until Tuesday before we actually see widespread rain. Let's take a look at the European forecast model. Same story. Now here's what's interesting is it wasn't until yesterday that the European forecast model came on board. So it was the GFS, the American model, that said, hey, they were the first on board to say, nope, no rain on Sunday. Then the European model said, okay, I'll go ahead and agree with you on that one. So there it is, Sunday. Rain, most likely, are just kind of touching the coast there, right? The positioning of this is going to depend on that. But there's that ridge of high pressure, right? So good alignment there for Sunday. But take a look at Monday. So this ridge is going to give way earlier based on the European forecast model. And by Monday, it's bringing in the rain. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, more wet weather. And then by Thursday, we should dry out and continue for the end of the week. So it looks like at least through the weekend, most of us will be dry with the exception of maybe the coast. Then by Monday, Tuesday, so the timing of when that moves in, still a little tricky. But I'm going to go ahead and keep that chance for showers for everyone on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. All right, this is our in-house forecast model. It's what's known as the Barron model. We're going to take a look at the next several days. So there's today. There was those gusty north winds, by the way, that we're going to see, but also the clear skies, sunny skies today. Friday, a couple of passing high clouds, but overall mainly sunny skies for your Friday. No rain, right? Clearly see that. Now Saturday, beginning to see the first signs of that. See it just at the very corner of the screen there. See a little bit of shower activity. That's Saturday. So we're going to notice more clouds coming in Saturday, but still dry. All right, now let's take you into your Sunday. You see how it's just kind of really just nudging ever so slightly to the east here during the day on Sunday. So again, the positioning of this, you bring that low a little bit more to the east and now everyone's got rain for the north coast. So that's why I'm still including a chance for showers for Del Norte, Humboldt, maybe even Trinity County and western Siskiyou County, places like Happy Camp, for example, right? But Mount Shasta probably dry on Sunday. And then, of course, everybody else dry as well. So that's what this is looking like right now. As we go into Monday, we'll have to kind of hone in on that potential for rain as early as Monday. We'll see. Now let's talk about the winds, right? Because they are gusty this morning in parts of the valley, but through the afternoon, they're going to stay gusty. We're talking sustained winds 15, 25 miles per hour in the valley, gusts up to 40 miles per hour. But it's not just the valley, right? Look at the coast. You're going to be pretty gusty later on this afternoon as well. Gusts upwards of 30, 35 miles an hour, and even a little gusty for some of those mountain ridge tops as well. But I think really the biggest winds will be here in the northern Sacramento Valley. Then on Friday, the winds actually subside. Shouldn't be that big of a deal. Saturday, not that bad either, but with the approaching system on Sunday, I think the winds will pick back up, but instead of a north wind, more of a south wind. And of course, the reason being it's that low pressure system, right? The flow around that low, boom, there you go. There are those south winds. So it will be a little gusty on Sunday and maybe even into Monday of next week as well. Temperature-wise, we're still seeing that roller coaster ride kind of going up for Friday, Saturday, even Sunday. With that dip in the temperatures, that's that chance for rain. And then we kind of, the tail end of that chance for rain will be Wednesday, taking back up low 80s by the end of next week and into that next weekend. Taking a look at your lake levels, still very healthy as expected, right? But we're still seeing positive numbers with the exception of Trinity Lake. Did see a minor drop yesterday, but nothing significant with over 100% of that historical average. Taking a look at the wave heights, still a little high today, but they should drop going into your Friday and most likely going back up by the second half of the weekend. Now, there still is a small craft advisory today. Those winds are actually going to get stronger through the afternoon, eventually out of the north at about 20 to 25 knots, that is. Your waves from the northwest at 8 feet at about 11 seconds. So here's your neighborhood forecast, sponsored by Dignity Health and Grange Co-op, Trinity County. All right, so there it is. You're dry through, all right, see that? Maybe a slight chance for showers Sunday. But really, I think for the most part, you'll be dry, mostly dry through the weekend. It's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday that we really got to watch. So the farther west you go, the closer you get to the coast, the better the chances for showers on Sunday. Otherwise, it will be fairly dry even on Sunday. It's not until Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday that I think we'll start bringing in that chance for rain. So you'll notice I've got the dry conditions here on Sunday. Of course, today as well. It's warming up, and then temperatures do start to drop as we see that potential for rain begin to move in. Still cool today, though. I mean, look at Modoc County. You're only getting into the low to mid 40s today. So yeah, you look up, you see the sun. You look outside, you're like, wow, it's going to be nice out. You get your shorts on, your short sleeves, and you drop out into those 40s. Different story, right? So deceptively cool today is what I like to call kind of the phrase for today. 46 for Westwood, 62 degrees for Paradise, and 47 degrees in Viola. Now for the valley, obviously warmer than the mountains, but still, again, with that north breeze, that can kind of blow right through you, can't it? And so it just makes it feel cooler out there. So it's still going to be generally in the mid to upper 60s for your highs, dry through Sunday, and then maybe that shot at some rain coming in Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We take you up to the north, 66 degrees for Redding, down to Red Bluff, 67 degrees in Palo Cedro, and Lakehead, about 60 degrees. That's your 7-day forecast for Redding, mid-70s for your Friday, Saturday, and the temperatures dropping down to the low 60s. So quite a drop, actually, by the time we do get into Monday and Tuesday. And then it looks like by Wednesday, you're looking at still a chance for showers, but beginning to warm up a little bit as well. So there you have it. Microphone is on. I checked. Good. All right. By the way, for those of you who are Roku people, maybe you have Roku on all the time, you notice it's not working. There seems to have been some kind of glitch. So my Roku app developer put in a fix yesterday, sent it to Roku. Unfortunately, it takes a little time for Roku to approve it, and it has to go through the Roku process. There you go. And he anticipates that later on this afternoon, evening, Roku should be back up and running. I apologize for some of the glitches. There were some issues with the website. It wasn't working on the website. It wasn't working on the app. So we were able to kind of patch, everything. The only missing piece right now is the Roku app, but that should be up and running. Which, by the way, I want to remind any of you who do watch and use Roku, if it's down, if you're using the Weather NorCal app on Roku and it's not working, know that, of course, first of all, I know about it and I'm going to be fixing it. But number two, most likely your Roku app, or your Roku automatically has YouTube on it. So your backup will be YouTube. And what I like about the YouTube app actually too is that you can on-demand watch the latest video forecast as well. So that's kind of cool. Which, by the way, stay tuned because hopefully we're going to get my Roku guys also kind of working on the potential for maybe that on-demand as well for the latest video forecast as well. So again, Roku, there's a fix in the works, just waiting for Roku to kind of get through the Roku process, and then it should be back up and running, and you'll be able to watch Weather NorCal 24-hour streaming channel on your Roku soon. We're almost there. A couple of people checking in this morning that I haven't had a chance to really check in with you this morning. I apologize for that. Don't want to ignore you guys. Good morning, enjoying having coffee with everyone from Catherine Schmidt. She's one of our regulars. Curtis Brown saying good morning, Mike, and everyone. We've also got Jackie Dixon saying good morning from Trinidad. Yes, so 3 of our regulars checking in. We also got Tom Frazier. Good morning, Mike, and everyone. Enjoy your Friday. It's a little bit chilly in Douglas City this morning. I bet it is. I know that there's, and especially tonight and tomorrow morning, you've got in Trinity County, I think Trinity County has a freeze warning. So be aware of that. By the way, I also want to remind everybody, let's do this because I want to show you who the winner was for the Red Bluff Roundup tickets. I'm going to go full screen on this because it's important. Julie, if you are watching, please, please, please contact me. Please email me. If you haven't received my email, I don't know what happened, but please email me. I'm going to check my email now. Did she email me back? No. So it's been over 24 hours since I have tried to contact you and I haven't heard back. If I don't hear back from you by noon, I hate to say it, but I'm going to have to draw a new winner. So, Julie, please, please contact me. If not, I hate to do it. I mean, but I'm going to have to draw a new winner because I want to make, these are great tickets. They're box seats. So they're amazing tickets. The Red Bluff Roundup went out of their way to make sure that these are good tickets for the contest. So I want to make sure somebody gets them. Okay? So please, Julie, if not, again, I hate to do it. If you know Julie, let her know. Tell her to email me. Or email me for her, right? Or whatever. I don't know. Just, I want to make sure she gets those tickets. So there you go. All right. Enough of that. Let's wrap up the show with some cool cameras. And one of my favorites now. I mean, come on. Look at that camera. This is our newest camera from Divine Restaurant. As you know, it's got an amazing view of the Sacramento River and just an amazing view like this. See some of the low clouds hanging out over there at Mount Shasta. Turning out to be a beautiful morning out there. Just a little bit on the chilly side. So that's going to do it for us this morning, folks. I hope you all have a great Thursday. And we'll see you right here tomorrow morning on Coffee with Krueger at 6:30. Have a good one.